Hello friends. Welcome back to our channel Travel and Jobs. There is bad news for everyone today that was just released by the UK government and accessible in the gov.uk website. The Home Secretary commissioned the Migration Advisory Committee MAC to conduct a rapid review of the UK Shortage Occupation List SOL, which is to be replaced with the Immigration Salary List ISL. The MAC's recent recommendations will now be reviewed by the government, but are expected to form the basis of the new ISL, which is expected to come into force in April 2024. The proposed changes include the replacement of the SOL with the ISL, raising the general salary threshold for the skilled worker route, and abolishing the 20% going rate now referred to as occupation-specific thresholds discount for occupations on the SOL. Pay scale occupations, which include medical and education professionals subject to national pay scales, were considered to not receive any meaningful benefit from ISL inclusion, as their occupation-specific thresholds are in all cases above the £23,200 general threshold that applies to all pay scale occupations in the UK. On this basis, the MAC excluded occupations that are on a pay scale from the ISL in their recent review. The review considered 55 unique standard occupation classification SOC codes from the SOL, or recommended for inclusion. Of these, 43 unique SOC 2020 codes were reviewed after excluding pay scale occupations. The MAC has recommended 21 occupations for inclusion on the ISL, which represents 8% of job roles eligible for the skilled worker route by employment. This is a significant reduction. Currently, approximately 30% of job roles eligible for the sponsorship under the skilled worker route are detailed on the SOL. Under the proposed changes, salary thresholds for non-healthcare worker visas will see significant increases. The general visa threshold, previously set at £26,200, will rise to £38,700, reflecting the 50th percentile of eligible occupations. Similarly, the going rates, or now specifically the occupation-specific thresholds, will transition from the 25th percentile to the 50th percentile of full-time salaries. For roles which have been recommended for inclusion on the ISL, a salary threshold of either £30,960 or the occupation-specific threshold, whichever is higher, shall apply. Some of the roles which the MAC have recommended for inclusion on the ISL include 3,111 laboratory technicians, 3,217 pharmaceutical technicians, 2,111 chemical scientists, 3,411 artists, 3,414 dancers and choreographers, 3,414 musicians, 3,416 arts officers, producers and directors, 3,421 graphic designers, 5,215 welding trades high-integrity pipe welders. Where the median salary for roles on the SOL exceeds £38,700, the MAC have not recommended their inclusion on the ISL, as a salary reduction would provide no meaningful benefit. This includes most of the engineering and information technology roles previously included on the SOL. These roles will no longer benefit from a 20% reduction, and the new general threshold and occupation-specific threshold will need to be met from 04 April. For now, the new entrant discount available for those aged 26 and under will continue. In its current form, this provides a 30% discount on the occupation-specific threshold and a 20% discount on the general salary threshold, the higher of which must be paid. Given that employers may need to take advantage of this discount more so than in the past, the MAC has encouraged the government to consider the impact of any rule changes to the new entrant discount. In addition, the Creative Worker CW visa currently allows employers to waive a labour market test associated with this visa route if the relevant occupation is on the SOL. The MAC have recommended the removal of this reference to the soul and to remove the labour market test. The MAC has also recommended that the Home Office attach a minimum salary threshold to the CW visa to ensure there is no economic advantage in using this visa to pay lower salaries compared to the skilled worker route for the same job. It's important to note that these are recommendations set out by the MAC as commissioned by the government. The government will now consider its proposals to decide which of the recommendations it will take forward with the April 2024 rule changes. It is also expected that a full and major review of the ISL, including a more in-depth analysis of what it is intending to achieve, will take place later in 2024. The full list of occupations recommended for inclusion in the ISL can be found in the MAC's report on the gov.uk website. We hope this information was helpful to you all.